Hi, and welcome to Tarot Time. And what we do here is we give you a forecast for the week ahead using tarot and other divination tools. So we're going to jump right in with a meditation card, talk a little bit about what's going on in the world, if we can keep that brief, do a tarot spread for the energies of the coming week, and give us a heads up on what to expect. Then I've got other divination cards to work with. So I'll get started in just a minute. I like to give the live people a minute to get their notification. So if you're watching this as a video, we will be right with you. I need water already, and I haven't really started talking yet. All right. So hi, Lindsay. Hi, Brooke, Yvonne, Carla, Chris, MDR. Hi, Christine. Hi, Yolanda. Hi, Doreen of Children's School Yoga. Yay. Hi, Katie. You've had a, hi, Heen. Hi, Mr. Floyd. Hi, Josh. We've had a lot of conversation before I even got here. Hello, Michael. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we're back together again. Yeah, we've had a whole week off from live streams. Next week's going to be a little busier because we have the full moon forecast. It's at 24 degrees of the sign Leo. So it's going to be a big full moon energy coming up on Wednesday. So we'll do a forecast on Monday. We'll do the transmissions, the energy work with the master teachers to get us in sync with these higher vibrations for our ascension and our growth. We'll do that on Wednesday. And what else? I think that's it for live streams next week. Yeah, I'm still pretty busy, but we will be starting to in a week or two, starting to do more stuff back on the channel again. So anyway, hello Karen, hello Justine. Who else jumped on that I missed? The Lucas Life. Hello, welcome. All right. So I'm working on tweaking the formats of my live stream to try to make them a little bit more succinct. So I'm going to work on keeping tarot time approximately an hour. We've been running at 90 minutes or close to it lately. And I get it because there's a lot to talk about. Every day there's new things to talk about. There's things that are happening so quickly in the world. But, our message always has been to be in the heart, be in the eye of the storm, to be aware and open and to be in the real world, so to speak, but not to allow the programming machine to get us off of our game and to get us out of our high vibes and to pull us into a lot of negativity, which is what's going on. I heard there's a football game later today or something like that, or with the president attending. That's interesting news also, but we'll get to that. So what I like to do is jump right in today. We'll actually start out doing a little bit of tarot, and we'll start out with a meditation card for the week. So what I do is when I do my tarot spreads, I'm looking at the cards, and I'm also getting channeled information coming through, as well as with the other divination cards. And then I also try to keep somewhat of an eye on your comments, so we include the community and allow you guys to have a voice also this morning of what you're sensing, seeing, feeling, all that kind of stuff. And what are you guys? Hello, Millie. Grand Rising. No, I like 90 minutes. Oh, you people saying that you like 90. All right. I'm trying to be considerate for your time, basically, more than anything. But we'll see how long it goes. Like I've been saying, there's been just so much going on. Every day there's something new. And a lot of you guys have been around for a while, following the Medium channel for a while. So you know that I gave you the heads up that this current president was going to get inaugurated on time and things were not going to happen at lightning speed. So hopefully we were able to help prepare you. I wasn't the only channel that was able to pick up on that, but certainly you guys that come here would know that, oh, my cards are all like disheveled. I feel a little disheveled on a Sunday morning myself. All right, so let's do our meditation card for the week. So this will tap into the energies this week and give us a focal point on our meditations to make the most out of these energies, basically. I'll give these a good mix. So what are you saying? Every day, a little of that. In the parlor, yeah, a lot of programming going on. Yeah, speaking of the Super Bowl and the president attending and everything, and all that. It kind of makes it a little bit challenging for the people watching the game, with the added security and all that stuff, and people have had to give up their tickets, and it's kind of a little bit messy to having the president in attendance, and of course they have to step up the security. And yesterday I was feeling like, I don't like this. I just don't like the feeling of it. It just kind of invites terrorism and stuff like that. But I feel like my guides are saying it's going to be okay. But we'll see. We shall see. So anyway, meditation card for the week. Picking up on the energies of the week, and I'll pull the card. I'll talk a little bit about how to work with it. I'm using currently the Hanson Roberts deck. You may have your own tarot cards that you work with. If not, you can take a snapshot of this card. Movement, energy. That's fire in the tarot. Knights are fire, wands or rods are fire. Lots of energy, lots of action. So perhaps in your meditation, it's going to be more about a couple things like how to take appropriate action, but also maybe how to cool off a little bit, because there's a lot of fire energy here, and not to get swayed by what's going on in the world. But in that regards, the way that I recommend meditating with the cards is get relaxed, present, like any other meditation. So when I meditate, I really work on getting to the point where I'm no longer associated with my body and my physical life, and more my spirit or source or energy, basically. And once I achieve that, I'm opening my heart. I'm allowing myself to feel. So I'm just open, chakras open, allowing myself to feel. Then I step into the card and just gauge what I feel as soon as I, in my mind, step into this card. And then I see the rest of the scene, because this is just the doorway. It's a whole panoramic view of things we can't see. This is just the entrance point. But first things, what do I see? Then maybe I'll get sounds, smells. Maybe this knight is a spirit guide or an advisor of some kind. So step in the card, feel the energy, and see what messages you get, or what you see, what you feel, where you travel, or stuff like that. And again, you may ask for messages of what action to take, because a lot of people are been asking me that or whatever. They've been kind of saying, Adam, it's great that that you're telling us how to stay in our spiritual space and stay centered and grounded and all that stuff. But we need to take action also. It's not just about being in meditation and being in our heart and that's it. Sometimes when we connect with our spirit or higher self, then we discover what we're supposed to do, like what our job is. Like some people may go out and demonstrate, some may organize groups, some may organize prayer circles, whatever it is. So you can ask, in these times that are challenged, what can I do to make them, to have the most positive and profound effect in the world that I live in, basically. So there's our meditation card. What's going on? For those of you in the Northeast, hey, it snowed last night. You may have noticed, usually I post on the snowstorm, but I didn't post on this one. And why is that? Because I wasn't feeling it. I just was not feeling it. And what happened here where I live in the Central Catskills is the forecast was for, one forecast was for 5 to 8 inches. Another forecast was for 6 to 10 inches, depending on if you looked at the Weather Channel or the National Weather Service. We got 3 inches. It was a big bust as far as, meteorology goes, and I wasn't feeling it, so I didn't really forecast. Now, if you checked out the February forecast at the beginning that I made in late January, you know that mid to late February, we're looking at a possible major storm in this area, nor'easter, possibly a blizzard. And there's two little things that are showing up in the long range models. Yeah, I combine intuition with meteorology. One for around the 15th or 16th. That'll be a week, that there's a possibility. Then the following week, there's another. So there's actually three more chances. There's another one in midweek. So, we're in a snowy February pattern here in the Northeast, basically. So what else is going on? They had the Super Bowl. There's an earthquake yesterday, right? In the Caribbean, in the Cayman Islands. That would qualify as one of the predicted earthquakes in unusual places. How often do we get that? It makes me a little bit concerned about the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. It was a underwater earthquake, but apparently there's no tsunami, or we would have heard about that by now. But I think it was a 7.6 or 7.8. So there's a pretty big earthquake going on. We're seeing a lot of going on with a couple of things that a lot's going on in the world with Donald Trump. One of the things with the tariffs, again, we predicted that it would be amended or rescinded. That's exactly what happened, at least for a month, for Mexico and Canada, and then 10% on China. So that's happened according to prediction so far, anyways. I feel like and this has been happening the last couple of weeks. A lot of disclosures around events that started in 2020 where everybody went into lockdown. We're told they have to take a certain inoculation, otherwise you'll be either guilted or shamed, or everybody will be angry you or whatever, or you're endangering, imperiling the entire society. Well, more and more people are coming up. I think we'll hear more of Anthony Fauci's name, who received the preemptive pardon when Joe Biden left office. So he's granted some immunity from the law. But I think what I'm seeing more about is things that had happened right around 2020. There were three prominent virologists, but there were more, and there was concerns of one thing that they were talking about. This doesn't, chances are overwhelmingly for this being not a natural virus, like a lab leak or whatever. Then one of them, I forgot her name. I don't have time to write everything down. One of them was saying, from the signature of things, this can't even be natural. This has to be engineered, basically, or at least the odds favored that. Kind of the argument that there wasn't really any of it found by the market, the wet market, basically, that it would be virtually impossible for a virus to jump from one species to another with the hardware already intact, basically, like the ideal makeup to penetrate human cells, basically, and infect humans. Like that would normally take a lot of evolution for a virus to reach that level. So that was the argument anyway. This was out in the news maybe 48 hours. Then these same people, and I saw this recently on Russell Brand's channel, by the way, that within 48 hours, the news stories were dropped. The same virologists were supporting the agenda rather than their own findings, and the emails that were exchanged were somehow missing, but that's being questioned again. So the point being is that people are looking back, and a lot of whistleblowers are coming up, and there's a lot of that energy going on. So we're probably going to see more of that. Now, fast forward to today, we have Project Stargate, right? Or the Stargate Project, or whatever it is. Part of that is through, the technology and mRNA vaccines for cancer. So that's something that's potentially amazing, right? And we're seeing a lot of that kind of push for building the AI networks and everything, the infrastructures, and utilizing both the technology and the biology to find these individualized cures or whatever. My thought about that is alkalize your system. They figured that out in the 1930s, how to suppress cancer growth within the body. Go on an anti-inflammatory diet, do natural things. You may not need to do these other therapies that are expensive, so the pharmaceutical companies will make a lot of money off of them, and things like that. So you basically, I'm all for curing things. I'm all for this, but not at the expense of dumbing us down, and like, if you know how to cure your own disease, you don't have to rely on a medication that could be taken from you next year or next month or whatever. So definitely, learn that or understand that. So I want to check out what you guys are saying for a second here. Just wonders. I'm missing your conversation. Listen. So there's a lot of biohacking. Yeah. All right, what are we looking at here? I'm missing your whole conversation. Sorry about that. So there's a pick out of RK pudding. We'll start here. Blue drops this drink, and the nuts came out about drugs. It is methylene blue. They won't listen to the truth. Protest. Those with glass. Yeah, really. Good idea. Yeah. Process and imagine. Yeah, all right. So I'm missing a lot of your comments, but that's okay. Many years ago, Yogiji, that would be Yogi Bhajan, said to always be careful of and don't get involved in protests because of the. All right, that's not for everybody. It's not for me either. I'd rather teach people how to open their heart, do heart-brain coherence, and raise their consciousness to help raise the collective. But we all have different jobs to do, you see. So. But I get that. So Millie's talking about biohackers or no, but he's. Yeah, I don't know who's not in too good a shape. I don't know if we're talking about Trump or somebody else. Shoveling, yeah. So it's plowable snow, just isn't nearly as much as what they said. Um, so my sociology professor, also my logic semantics professor, also never follow a mob. It's a mob mentality, group mentality. When we're in the heart, we are in the realm of spirit, of God, of source, and we are in our own power. Basically, we can't get hearts cannot get programmed. We can't be swayed by mob mentality when we are in our own hearts, because we are in our power, right? So but that's an excellent point for sure. And I think we said that. Oh, this is the one I wanted to read. My life-saving advice for hand warmth is on back of neck and then belly. If you can reach it, start. But okay, I'm definitely missing a few things, but you guys keep it up. A lot of fire energy, right? So let's see what else. Told you about that. The other thing I wanted to mention is people are talking a lot about Gaza and the plans for that. And I got a mini download last night that I'm probably going to add on an upload that I'll do tomorrow or Tuesday on the channel. But what came through was that the whole agenda with the Gaza Strip, it's not just Donald Trump. It's not new, that it's something that's been planned by several nations. Now, this is what came through. I'm not saying that I know this is true, so I'll just put that out there. I mean, most of the time, let me hide this comment. I mean, what spirit brings through has a habit of being true. But anyway, that said, that's my disclaimer, that I don't have any tangible proof that this is true, is what I'm trying to say. But what came through is that it's been planned for a while, and that's part of the war efforts, was part of that. And basically, the plan is to create like a resort, basically, but a place that's not part of any country. This is what I got, that you don't need the passport. You can be from anywhere. I mean, I think you're going to need some obviously credentials, that you're not a serial killer or whatever. I mean, they, as I'm talking, I feel like Spirit's saying, well, part of that is that there'll be some semblance of social passports or something along those lines. But anyway, it's kind of like this vision of the new earth, the golden age, that we can go to this place. It doesn't matter what nationality you're from, that we're all brothers and sisters of planet Earth and yada yada and all that stuff. Meanwhile, it's all smart technology. It's all like a big smart city that's all AI generated. It's all mechanized. It's all that kind of stuff, basically. And using all that technology, basically. And what I'm seeing is they're being places that you can go to get what's the right word, interface with technology for like some version of a holodeck, like from Star Trek, or a meeting place like a metaverse or something like that. So very, very high tech, and very much that, again, that AI. So that AI agenda in itself, it's technology, it's evolution, it's fine. Just keep in mind, and I've been saying this for a while, so I'll continue to beat the same drum till I can't beat it no more, is that the problem is that those that are training AI, the same people that are programming AI are the same people that are using all kinds of other mechanisms to program the masses to, again, funnel all the power and the money to a very small select few, to have everybody programmed in a certain mindset and a certain mindset and a certain way of doing things and acting and perceiving things and all that stuff. So again, it's like, is it is it going to be historically accurate, what the information on AI, or is there an agenda to try to control the thinking of the masses? So again, the whole process, the whole agenda, the media's job is to basically direct the thinking, direct people's attention, and to program the way people see things, react to things. That's based on survival and all that stuff. So this is basically one of the things to keep an eye out for. And as I've been saying for a good while, but especially lately, is that we do see the split forming in society, where people are going to follow the whole process of getting more into the AI and into the the cybernetics and everything, creating these advanced robots and stuff like that, but also interfacing with technology, basically. And there's those that are not going to really want to participate in that, want to continue more their development more on the human level, that their spiritual evolution and growth and process with that. And I could see, that there's a couple different timelines that could come up, but I could see one possibility where it's basically not so much a split, it's just some people are choosing to go more the technology route and others aren't. Just like when like the internet became available, there were people for years and years that never went on the internet and just kind of lived the way they'd always been living. So we may see one of that. But the other possibility is that they're really trying to leverage control over the masses and using the technology as a tool for that. In other words, pressuring people to get on board, to get interfaced, to take advantage of these miracles. Because again, with the mRNA and other cures for other diseases, it's going to be touted as a miracle. But again, it kind of pulls us away from our own innate abilities to heal ourselves. Just like we have the ability to, we're all telepathic. We have those abilities, but we lost those abilities with the telephone and all these modern conveniences. So the idea is to use the technology in a way to enhance our own spiritual and personal development, not as a substitute. So when the interfacing becomes available and becomes safe, you can use that to enhance, but not to replace. And I think they're trying to replace and program people to serve the AI. So a lot of jobs get lost, and the people that don't have jobs anymore, well, their job becomes to help to serve the AI and to serve all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting, what's coming up. So what are you guys having to say about that? And and always been fascinated with gypsies. Yeah, okay. One of the most important things I apply to life. I learned action. No characters, all good. Yeah, and I could see that with our 47th president. With what's going on, rapid fire. There's some things I like, some things I don't like. Basically, if legitimately, I saw that we might lose power. So if I go away quickly, I apologize. Yeah, we're having some internet glitches apparently. All right, let me know if you guys stop hearing me or stop seeing me or anything like that. But in any regards, um, maybe they didn't like what I was just saying. but in any regards, I think you guys get the idea with that. And the other thing is, yeah, the glitch seems to be better. The other thing is, speaking of glitches, the technology is always flawed. Like in one of the Hunger Game movies, I think it was the second one with the techno nerds. One thing they would say, there's always going to be a flaw in the system. Like I've never had a cell phone that didn't have a glitch or a computer. So we're going to put that in our bodies. No matter how sophisticated it gets, there's always going to be a glitch. So these are things to keep in mind. Again, this could be a really amazing thing, but again, keep in mind that those that are trying to program, that are trying to push an agenda, to have everything more centralized, more mechanized, more control, less power, less freedom to the people, are the same ones that are programming AI, which is going to be a massive tool that's going to really run our society. So we're going to see that in Gaza, if my information right. We'll see that in Lahaina, right? In Maui, where where that natural fire happen to take place, where blue things aren't burning or something like that. So yeah, so let's stay in our heart, let's stay in our power, and that's basically that. So let's do a 3-card spread. So we're talking about I talking about real crystal ball now, yeah, and favor and love to your internet. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's working. And the gypsy queen. I was just listening to Tommy the other day. Honey, I hadn't listened to it was a while ago. I hadn't listened to the album Tommy. That's the Who rock opera. And then I was listening to Gypsy Queen and I was like, oh my God, that's a Pete Townsend song. I thought that was a Roger Daltrey song, but it was Pete Townsend singing. Like, oh, you learn something new every day, but and the Gypsy, the Acid Queen. I'm getting the wrong. Oh, Gypsy Queen by Dio. I'm sorry. Wrong song. Cancel. Let's do our 3-card spread. Very good. So what else is going on? What am I missing? Yeah, there's so much in the news now. So much going on. It said, the DOGE, that's big in the news. I mean, if they're legitimately finding wasteful money that could be used for something else, constructive for our society and our world, I'm all for that, basically. If it becomes a witch hunt, I'm not for that. So, we have to keep an eye on things and see how that all plays out and how that's all happening. Again, we're seeing lots of disclosure. I don't know if they're real, but I've seen, on different sites how the Epstein list came out, this came out, that came out, all the things that we're hoping gets exposed. I don't feel like that happened, though. I don't know. Am I wrong? Did any of that happen? Any of those disclosures happen? Oh, another thing to keep in mind, this just popped in my mind, that I think in the second half of February, so we're starting week 2 now. I think there's going to be some big UFO news, some big news about aliens and ETs that are coming up. Oh, we're talking about a movie that I haven't even found. Of course, the Doge is finding massive fraud. Yeah. Yeah, massive fraud with certain people that were politicians, and they were taking, taxpayers' money for weddings or trips or stuff like that. Again, this is what I'm seeing in the news. The thing is that because virtually all information lines are corrupt right now, it's hard to know what to believe. I mean, people say, go to independent news. Yeah, I'm all for that, but some of those are corrupt also. I mean, we know mainstream news is, but it has been for a long time. But something, yeah. See, my feeling is don't be right or left. Be in the heart. Be in the center. We have a left wing. We have a right wing. We have a heart. Be in the heart. Yeah. So something came out. So focused on outrage that they. Yeah, I know. The fact that they can admit that, that when they're saying illusions are falling away, feeling the difference between what good, um, and Yvonne saying more fake news than before. Definitely. I feel I've been saying that. You've been here for a good while, Yvonne. I've been saying that for a while. That if you're right wing, guess what? There's a program there for you that's going to be fed in your favorite news feeds. This is going on. That's going on. Not all that's true. I try to follow these different ideologies, whether it's the Q or whatever. Some of it I believe, some I don't. Like just like other ideologies. So I try to see what the woke Democrats are saying or whatever. Some of it I agree with, some of it I don't. Basically, but what I don't agree with is the programming that they are purposely trying to divide and conquer and get us so riled up and hate the other side that while we're fighting each other, that they're just doing whatever the heck they want. So if they're putting all this focus on what's going on with Elon Musk and what's going on with this, that, and the other thing, and everybody's hyper focused on that, you can bet they're doing things right in front of our faces as a smoke and mirror or a sleight of hand trick. Like we don't see, the with the rabbit in the head, because we're so focused on the one hand, we don't see what the other hand's doing. But when you're in the heart, you take it all in. You don't get programmed. You don't get misled by those forces, basically. So, anyhow, 3 card spread. Yes. Hello, Fallon. Hello, Lakeside Laura, and anybody else that they came in. Somebody made the same that now you're talking rock and roll. Yeah, we can watch that. I just haven't seen any movies for forever. Funny, and then closing my eyes and seeing a big blue whale. I don't know what relevance that has, but we may have some news about marine life or the whales or whatever. Those are the biggest creatures on planet Earth that we know about. Are blue whales. Interesting. So I will pull 3 cards and vibe on them for you and just see. We're asking about the energies of the week. If there's anything major coming up. There's always something major every day. 2 and 3. This card here. All right. I got the Sun card. That's happy energy. And the Pentacles. Interesting. So these are building, fixing, repairing kind of energy. I think, because this reading can tap into things going on in your life personally, in our community, or the world around us. I think we get a little bit of better news connecting to money or the economy. Pentacles can represent that, the Queen of Pentacles. Right around Tuesday or so, there may be some news from like the feds or something that's a little bit more favorable, or people are gaining a little bit more confidence. Now, a lot of you know that I had predicted way back when an economic crash in February. And then over the last couple of months, I kind of amended that to some degree and calling more of like a reset than a crash. And I think we're seeing that reset now. I think the stocks are back up again. I think they went down a lot and they went back up. I think a lot of it was, about the tariffs and what that's going to do to inflation and eventual recession and so forth. I think this is just really saying this is the time we should be working on our own projects, like getting more into our own space. What do we need to do or desire to do for our own lives? Congratulations on the new jobs for those that, well, I know one of you, I know specifically that you got a new job, and that would be your card also as an earth sign. So congratulations to you. But anybody else is coming into some new money making opportunities, new work or stuff. If not, this is a good week to probably look at ways of enhancing your finance. You remember, money is a tool. It's not the be all and the end all. It's the tool to create more empowerment and more freedom in your life. So it's a good thing. So this is a good week for all of us to deprogram all the negativity about money and all, like, money doesn't grow on trees, hang the rich, all that negative chatter that we get programmed into, basically. Some of us are writing, some of us are making art, making music, figuring out things that we can do in our lives to make our communities better, to make our lives better and stuff like that. This could involve some semblance of a stimulus package. I don't think it's going to be like what happened in the pandemic, but there may be some incentives. It may not necessarily be the government gives us a rebate on our own taxes or anything like that. We may hear news about the federal income tax and plans about that. I'm not really seeing yet at this time that being abolished, but I could see it being altered in some way that may be a little bit better for middle class people or people that don't have a ton of money or stuff like that. I kind of get the feeling like some new openings of international trade that's coming up, basically, and by doing so, that might help the world economy. A lot of what our president says or what he's been saying, a lot of that, and I knew it, and I mentioned that also, are bluffs to try to create a certain reaction from other countries. It's almost like the schoolyard bully, basically, like threatening, I'm going to beat you up, unless you do this. So it's like, get more border patrol, stop the fentanyl, do this, do that, and then they do it. And then it's like, all right, you have another month to shape up, or we're gonna do it again, basically. So there's a lot of these agendas. We some of us look at our president as a freedom fighter for our rights as humans, as a country, or whatever. Others of us look at this as like, the World War III, or like this president's just going to bring everything down, basically, and the whole world's going to hate us or whatever. But whatever the case, again, like I was saying before, there's something that I like, something that I don't. But a lot of this has been really kind of pre-packaged, and it's being presented to us, and then the packaging changes or things change along the way. So, but I think this, again, it looks more favorable. The Sun card coming in, that's about happiness and joy. I think we're going to hear more news about another possible virus or something like that, because I'm seeing this as, issues with people's health. And, and another thing that may come to light, and I've been seeing a little bit around this here and there. We remember the time when we were getting the fog that didn't smell terribly good and was weird and everything. And again, like I was saying earlier, we can't trust all the information streams. A lot of it's corrupt. Like there's the right-wing program for those people, left-wing for those, all that stuff. But they from what I've understanding, they've been finding bacteria, pathogens in that. Now, what if, I'll be like Rod Serling, picture this. that there is a there is a new expensive therapy that's going to cure people's cancer. But what if we wanted to feed the pharmaceutical companies, because that feeds the asset management company, that feeds the deep state or whatever, and let's create something to make it so that more people get sick, that more people are vulnerable to cancer, and then we can cure that for them. Oh yeah, and make a lot of money in the interim. Now we don't know what causes cancer, but viruses, bacteria, and parasites in general have been cited as a possible link. There's also genetics. There's other things involved. But what if this whole thing with toxic fog or this, that, or the other thing is really getting people more sick, so they buy into these new miracle therapies that are going to save them, basically. We talk about the art of tricknology here a lot. For anybody that's new, that's kind of a term that my martial arts teacher, Wuji, who passed on many years ago, would say a lot also. I started studying this stuff in the 70s and the 80s, back in the day when conspiracy theorists were more left than right wing, basically. It's funny how things change, but a lot of us, watching X-Files, we were supporting the Clintons. I didn't know any better. But anyway, that's beside the point. But point being, it's funny how things change. And, I knew what this virus was. I knew how it was going to spread. And I told people about that. And I told people about the vaccines. I got the exact month that they were going to roll out. All that stuff. And I mentioned that it's not natural. I a couple of years ago, if I was saying this, I'd risk getting this video taken down. Now it's the CIA has said that that's the favorite theory now, that it was indeed made in the lab, basically. So that's our CIA saying that, but my videos would have been taken down, basically. So I'm saying all this stuff, and basically what I would get is the pushback, like, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're obviously a Trump supporter, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, I'm not a Trump supporter. These are my views. It's like our beliefs don't necessarily have to follow a political agenda, but that's how people are programmed. If you have a certain belief, they're so programmed that they believe that you're part of a group when you're not necessarily. So anyway, I just figured I'd make that point. Yeah, keep working on your own stuff. This is a time to really double down on your own spirituality. Make yourself healthy. Understand that our mind is the number one indicator of health and well-being. And healthy mind, healthy body, basically. What you put into your body is number two. Get your inflammation down. If you live on stress, what's the old Dunkin' Donuts? I was with my son this weekend visiting my brother. So I stayed with my son, and then he's in Rhode Island, and basically, well, he's in Massachusetts, near Rhode Island, and basically there's like 3 Dunkin' Donuts right around his house. I'm like, it's joking. They said, well, America runs on Dunkin'. And that would explain a thing or two now, wouldn't it? America runs on caffeine and sugar, basically. And why are so many people sick or overweight or whatever? So get your diet together, get your mind together, change the pH, change the chemistry of your body. You're going to be resistant. Just doing that and not eating a lot at night. There's very, very simple things that you can do. Drinking enough water that would make you 80% less likely to get a serious disease if you don't do it. Yeah, there's no guarantees. I had a yoga teacher back in the 70s, total vegan, did yoga every day, meditated or whatever, and died of breast cancer in her 30s. There's no guarantee. Sometimes that's a certain individual's soul's course. So there's always exceptions to the rules. But that said, take good care of yourselves, basically. Do some cleansing, some clearing. And if you've been exposed to any of the fog or any toxins, do some cleansing, some, a lot of water, some fasting, cleanse your bodies and stuff like that, basically. Right, exactly. So you're making what I would say much more succinct. Get you sick and give you the cure. A lot of people are doing the right thing and moving its own. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Right. Explain. Yeah. It might. Yeah. It's like they drive everybody freaking crazy, and then they come out with these psychiatric medications because they've freaking driven everyone crazy. Hello, welcome, Janie, American Iris. Totally agree. Those who create division want us fighting political sides and other things. We are all unique beings. Oh, I love this comment. Complex beings that are smart enough to look past. We all have that capability. Totally, yeah. And, I find myself going into the programming. I mean, I've been doing this through my yoga practices for years, but Joe Dispenza is really very succinct. He's probably the best communicator, spiritual principles that I'm aware of. And he said very simply, what you do is you become present, you become aware, step out of the program. In other words, if I have a reaction, instead of being, angry or pissed off, I'll step out of that and watch myself getting angry and pissed off. Watch those hormones raising in my body and hijacking my emotions and hijacking my behavior. I'll step outside of myself and watch that. And in that moment, I'm not the program anymore. I have awareness of the program. From awareness comes change. So that's an exercise for us all to do. Because I do it too. I've been meditating over 40 years. I go into monkey mind. I react to things. We're all students and we're all teachers, right? We're all in different points of our evolution. So I have to remind myself sometimes, no, step out of that, observe yourself. Then you have the awareness, and you can start to do the reprogramming because you know what you're reprogramming, basically. So anyway, not a bad spread for the week. That doesn't mean we're not going to get some bombshells in the news. But I think the economy, money is going to be very highlighted. I think some of the cryptos may do very well this week, or we may see gold or platinum or silver go up, or something that's a little bit hopeful, I want to say. Once more people understand now, to be clear, I'm not all for everything that our current president is doing, but I'm not against everything either. And I want to look at the good and feel like he may be able to, on some level anyway, right the ship with the economy, especially if his I was going to say henchman, but his team is finding a lot of wasteful government spending and a lot of corruption or whatever. That's going to help us all. So we may get a little bit more hopeful. So anyway, I want to look into some other. The last card you didn't catch. So we have the Sun card. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. That's the card of the craftsman, the builder, the apprentice sometimes also. This is really about, like, again, getting grounded. So pentacles are very grounded. They're the earth. So get very grounded. Do grounding every day. Get your sacral and your root chakra very strong, as well as your solar plexus. In yoga, we call that the lower triangle. And without a strong lower triangle, your upper chakras aren't going to develop properly. You really, really need that, especially in this world where they're trying to get us so ungrounded and so unhinged, that we're so in survival instincts that our root and our sacral, which is our emotional chakra, atrophy basically and just become rigid. What we want is to create fluidity and elasticity in our energy fields and in our bodies. And I have an ascension set for you guys. It's on a playlist on my channel that you can start doing that. And you can start increasing the flow through your body by creating more elasticity and space between the cells and the atoms to allow more prana to flow through you. And that's going to make you healthier. So I am currently 66. I mean, there's a few old age things that withstanding, but I really feel like I'm in my best health in my entire life now because I practice what I preach. So everything I'm telling you guys are things that I'm doing that are helping me and that I'm teaching other people. do that. So anyway, I have Native American tarot also. So let's get another message here. We're already 50 minutes. So hi Tracy, welcome. Hi Free Mind. So what are you saying, Free Mind? May I ask why don't you use those silly cards? Because that's not what they're for. They're for spiritual growth and wisdom. They're not for parlor tricks. They're not for trite things or anything like that. So if you have anything positive to say and contribute, you are welcome. If you're here to contribute and to develop, grow spiritually, you're welcome. If not, then we will see you later. So here we go with the Native American deck. So this seems like a nice comment here. A meditation to where I met my 3 golden galactic guides about 2 years ago. I know I recognize them there, and they told me, yeah, it's about 2 years ago. I met some new I met some new interdimensional or extraterrestrial guides. I started to connect with blue beings that had like dolphin skin. They may have been aquatic beings. Anyway, let me get back into some tarot. So this is, here we go. I found my card here. So we got is horse thief. Interesting. This would be equivalent to the 7 of swords, basically. So be aware of like ripoffs and stuff like that, basically. So we may again start to get some tricks or stuff like that, technology basically. And horse thief. Just to see what else. So 7's also about intuition. There's a lot of kind of like this, the moon is shining, that's a very feminine energy, basically. So I feel like part of the message is just be aware of, when it comes to people that are negative, stuff like that, it's just that they're miserable inside. So they're trying to bring other people down. So, part of the message I feel like is don't let people take your energy. I think this card is more cautioning us more about the energy vampires, basically. Like there's a lot of very parasitic people, and on an astral level, an energetic level, there's astral parasites also, basically. And energetic ones also. So be aware of people that are really trying to pull your energy. That could be the society, the news, or whatever. That could be people around you, friends, family members. So it's a good idea to keep your shield strong, to stay compassionate. Again, when you're in your heart, when you're in your place of power, then you're one with source or God. You draw on the same power that's available to everybody. So nobody's more powerful than you, basically. So I think this is just saying to protect your energy a little bit more also. And things of that nature. So moving right along, I have a message from the Isis Oracle deck for you guys now. Yeah, we have compassion. So when you talk about people being miserable, being energy vampires, don't make that a negative. Understand that that they're hurting. They're that they're programmed also. What is that saying from God? Which I've got to get another copy of the Bible. I have to. Because I love quoting from the Bible, but I'm thinking of Jesus on the cross saying, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." Basically, so forgive the energy vampires, but that doesn't mean you let them vamp you. You forgive them, and then you shield yourself. They go away. You can't have my energy. Anyway, from the Isis Oracle deck. right here. Got my card. Nope, nope. Saying the second card. Okay, thank you. This is the card, Rising Sun. I love it. The Divine Solar Child Reborn. So that happened on Yule Day. That happened December 21st. That was Yule, the birth of the sun god, or the birth of the son of God. Depending on where you kind of put your oxygen mask. Oh, what are you guys saying? Put your oxygen mask on. All right, let me flash a few comments here. Set boundaries, hold your frequency, do not react, respond with turn the other cheek. Yeah, there's my feeling about that is that there's times to turn the other cheek and there's times not to, basically, and only your higher self or spirit knows the difference. There's times we absolutely must defend ourselves. Sometimes through passivity and non-resistance is the way to do it. Sometimes with counter aggression is a way. I mean, I came into this through spiritual warriorship. That's just my belief. But anyway, people are unhealed. They don't have the tools or know how to heal, to raise their vibe up. They only know how to try to pull others down to their vibe. But we are all there before our exactly. So we have to have compassion for them, but not allow our vibes to get pulled down. If you can't pull them up, then keep your boundaries. That's all, with compassion. Right? Protect your energy is what I meant. Yes. We know what you mean. Yes. I never look for right either, but if one comes, I'm gonna fight with more than what they have. Basically, if a fight comes to me, I'm not gonna lay down and get killed. Basically, how's that gonna do me or my loved ones any good if I let somebody kill me, right? So the Divine Solar Child Reborn. So that's the solar plex chakra. That's our courage, our strength. Our solar plex chakra is being under fire and under attack. That's our will, our strength. So when we go into the fear-based energies, when we go into that, it's tearing down that center. We need a strong solar plex for our hearts to be fully open. So, let's work with our solar plex chakra also. Feel the sun. It's interesting. This is leading me to another little conversation that people have always been clairvoyant. People have always been psychic. Everybody's psychic. Some of us are more developed than others through this or other lifetimes. But I love the expression around colors because this came from mystical people that saw auras. Like, what's the expression for a coward? He's yellow. He's yellow. um, and um, and I remember when I started to open up and see auras, when somebody was scared, it's almost like a puke yellow green energy I would see around them. That's fear. That's the energy of fear. Or in the pink, that's healthy, right? When people are healthy, they have a pinkish glow. So red with anger. When I see people angry, they emit a lot of red energy. That's Mars. That's passion. That's energy. Basically, that's survival. So interesting stuff. So I think the message is keep our solar plex chakra strong. Also, our will, our strength, our courage, our faith, all that stuff is connected with that chakra, and if that's compromised, then we're too much in fear and we're too easy to control. Basically, we're going to be okay. The one that created us is taking care of us. This is a transformation. Unfortunately, hard things to watch have to happen because of the way things are and the way people are programmed. But this is, God's spirit source is orchestrating this ascension process with us. And no matter what we see and no matter what suffering happens, we're going to be okay. We're going to pull through it, and we are safe and we are protected. So remember that. Please. And yes, we are all connected. We don't lose anyone or anything. That's right. The great I am. We are everything, and everything is us. We forget in an illusion of body and separation. Remember, not reality become. Yes. Thank you for that. And Tracy, thank you for that. It attached itself. Yeah, I've had energetic vampires. MJ, heal the world. Let's heal the world. Yes. And speaking Truth and love, throat chakra. Yeah, I mean, we want, the perfect world. We want all of our chakras to be in balance, right? Some dark worship. All right, yeah. If and when I watch the Super Bowl, I don't have a working TV, so I'm not going to watch it. I watch it for the for edification. I'll put it that way. I want to see what they're doing, what they're using to program the masses. How many people watch the Super Bowl? I like, if I was to do like say a psychedelic experience, I might choose the time of the Super Bowl because I won't feel any collective energy. They'll all be engaged in a freaking game, basically. But the point being is that that if I watch it, I'm watching the commercial. I'm looking at what new tricks are they doing to program people, basically. A lot of false prophets, yes, absolutely. So, and I always remember Psyche in the Bible predicting false prophets. We have quite a few false prophets now. Yeah, we certainly do. So we have to, when we're in our heart, then we can trust our intuition. But sometimes our fears can disguise themselves as intuition. There's a very prominent British psychic, very good psychic. No bad mouthing of colleagues or any of that kind of stuff around here. But I know I learned that he was heavily into the left wing agenda, and his prediction for the inauguration was that Trump would be forced to step down, and that Harris would wind up stepping in and winning. So basically, the prediction was that he'd be whatever, tried as a criminal or whatever, and then that obviously that didn't happen, and that just kind of shows how easy it is to get pulled out of our intuition based on our programming. But again, I'm not going to mention names, but this is a world class psychic we're talking about. So again, when I have to remind myself whenever I do readings or if I do forecasts for you guys on the channel, to get out of my my programming, my prejudice. If people, unless you're like Jesus or Gandhi, if somebody said, "Oh, I'm not prejudiced," I'm not going to believe them because we don't know all of our programming. 95% of it happens before we're 7 years old, even. But when you're in your heart, you're not in your personal perspective anymore. You're aligned with spirit. So however you've been programmed or whatever prejudice you don't have, doesn't matter when you're in that heart frequency. So that's, for those of you that do readings or do psychic work or healing, that's the secret. So anyhow, what else you guys say? Oh, I bet your dad's an amazing human being, Laura. I think he may have come through in one of our mediumship sessions, right? And JA, yes, use the energy of others to create. Yeah, right. That's part of that. It's almost like they can use our energy, just like in the Star Wars movies. It's kind of get people, in a powerful but dark energy, and then that can be used for their agendas. Fear and anger come to mind. Guilt is and shame is right up there, or right down there. Might be the better. Oh, this is the frequency of the week. This is the sacred geometry oracle deck. Found a card, and that card is transition. We are in a lot of transitions. If you just gaze at the center of this card for a while, you can absorb the energy of the sacred geometry. So, and it's very transitional. It looks like a snake. We just started the year of the snake, right? So there's a lot of serpent energy. What do serpents do? They transmute poison into medicine, right? Snake venom is a medicine or a poison. It just depends on how it's applied, right? Sheds old skin, and it's really about healing, about the divine feminine. all that stuff with that energy. And the frequency transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence in our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. So how do we do that? We get into the heart. That way we can let go. It doesn't mean that we surrender our power. That's not what I mean by letting go. That just means like letting go of things that no longer serve us at this time, basically. So when you're in your heart, and your heart is bright, and you've been able to work and clear the core issues. So as you illuminate the heart, some of the deep core issues become illuminated with the heart. Those layers of the onion that you peel off to heal and to transcend spiritually, they come off a lot easier once you heal the heart and heal the center also. So we're all in transition. The world's in transition. We're in a massive period of human evolution. It's like for every 10 years is equivalent to 100 or 1,000 years in the past of evolution. That's how quickly we're evolving, and a lot of change that brings about. So we're in transition. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So so we have a couple of other things. Let me do a Kyle Gray message. I noticed that it's hard to say an hour when there's so much going on. I just have a couple more. And I gotta do a few things myself. And we got the blue beings. God, what did we just talk about? The blue beings. And just 10 minutes ago, I was talking about. I connected with these beings a couple of years ago. So what does Kyle Gray have to say about the blue beings? Light transmissions, wounds healed, important information, charging us. And maybe Spirit's telling me why these blue beings came, because I was working through a lot of mother wounding at the time. So that's very interesting. I was working a lot with Archangel Raphael and healing mother wounds. And I saw these two blue beings. One night I was meditating. They were right on my left. They were there just watching me. It's almost like I can feel them now that I'm talking about that. So amazing message, light transmission. And we'll do a light transmission on Wednesday here on the Medium channel for the full moon. And by the way, if anybody wants to learn mediumship, channeling, trance healing, spirit art, we're going to do a really amazing weekend retreat. I believe it's the 13th and the 15th, or the 11th and the 13th of April, the weekend before Easter. So there'll be information on the chat and on the description about that. That's a weekend retreat that we're going to be doing here to develop your ability to connect with your loved ones, your guide angels, and to be able to work with healing energy and light. So that's coming up. There's a couple of other amazing things that are going to be happening soon, but we'll get to that in due time. So we have medicine cards. Let's get our totem animal for the week. I have to clear my mind a second. This is the one they want me to pull. And this is the elk, number 3. Elks are very strong and sturdy, right? But I don't know their book meanings. I'm going to look in the book for a second. This is the medicine cards. We'll just have this in the north. Oh, stamina. Well, that makes sense. Elk, your antlers reach the sun. Show me the strength and stamina one. So this also aligns a lot with the solar plexus, right? Like stamina and strength, basically. So you can call on the power of the elk to give you more strength and stamina, because that's what we need. We're going to be okay. Yeah, once the transition happens, the awakening starts to set in. Society transforms. We come into the 1,000 years of enlightenment, or the golden age. And I'm talking about like the prophecies of the golden age, not the political meaning that's come up recently about that. Just to be clear about that. Although I feel like spirits, they kind of mean the same thing. They just have different ideas of how to get there. And last but not least, let's pull an angel message. So tomorrow night, 7:00, we'll do the full moon forecast. So I'll give you an update on the energy this full moon and how to best utilize that for your ascension and your growth, as well as how to stay safe in this world, and what events are likely to happen based on the full moon energy. So it'll cover the full moon and the 2 weeks to follow that. Then we come into eclipse season. And Jupiter's direct now. Mars will go direct at the end of the month, but then Venus goes retrograde shortly after that. And we got Isabella. Yes, the timing is right for this new venture. Happy outcome. Follow your positive expectations. So you guys have ideas. So now's the time to follow and put some ideas into practice. It may be like an idea to help people. It may be money related, business related. Developing your intuition, whatever it is, the timing is right now. So, and Artemis, thank you for that. Artemis showed up in the last card, right? Oh yeah, please subscribe. It's free. Thank you for that. 74 watching, 54 likes. So if you want to like the video and that helps YouTube to share, we'd be happy. And what subscribing will do is more of our videos will show up on your home feed, and you're more like kind of in the in community. And if you want to go into our inner core community, that's on Patreon. It's $5 a month. We do 2 channeling sessions per month and exclusive content and videos. That's Spirit Mind Family and Patreon. That's what we have for you. I love you. We will see you at the next video.